we should also have mobility, being able to share the gospel with everyone. Paul uses the Roman soldiers as an example for believers. The Roman sandals were furnished with a thick sole of nails that gripped the ground firmly. Even when it was sloppy or slippery, they didn't allow themselves to be pushed around. They didn't allow themselves to be pushed around because they were prepared for battle, prepared for spiritual battle. They had their feet ready and stern with stability, and they were able to do what they had been called to do. Here, there are days when things are just sloppy and slippery. You ever been in one of those days where just things were just all over the place? But if we suffer with him, we will reign with him. Take control of your walk. Stability comes because shoes brings a great deal of control. Nobody gets dressed in the morning and go and get in their car without shoes on. You feel better when you put your shoes on. Does he control your life? Can you say, for me to live is Christ? It's not our job, family or finances, that ought to be characterized as our burden. It is not our possession, popularity, or pleasure that should occupy our minds. If we stand on those foundations, they will shift or change. Christ alone ought to be the center of our lives and what we are doing. With the gospel shoes, we travel the rough and difficult paths of life. We can climb the mountain of difficulties, and we can hold out to the end. If your heart is going places you should not go, remember, we must not go into battle barefooted. We have to always remember that whatever we're going, as long as we got the word of God, the gospel, the shoes of righteousness, as long as our feet is girded, as long as our feet is shone with the preparation of the gospel of peace, we can go anywhere. We can go anywhere. Because God didn't give us the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. That means that I can walk by faith and not by sight, not worried about what tomorrow is going to bring. I let it bring what it brings. Not worried. Not worried. The gospel shoes keeps us clean and safe from harm. Walk in the power of the gospel and be crucified to this world. Have you ever had a pair of shoes on that were too small? That hurt, don't it? Especially when you got to go to the mall. You trying to find the nearest elevator. Anybody ever been to the mall where their feet were hurting, their shoes were too small? My God. Either they were too small or too big. Anybody had to have a pair of shoes on where they were too big and the paper you put in the front of them were hurting the front of your toe? I wish I had a witness. This is our walk without the gospel shoes. Without the gospel shoes, things just hurt. Things are too big for us. Things are overwhelming us because we don't have on the right shoes. But when we got the gospel shoes on, my God, We can go anywhere and do anything and glorify God on every street corner, between every alley, every highway, every byway. We can do it. Because we got on the shoes saying that God is directing our path. He's leading us. We're not leading ourselves. It's not us, but it's him that dwells inside of us. It's him that's carrying us to places we need to go. It's him that's carrying us.